go.
Hello guys, welcome to Indian Geek Society. I'm Nona Prince, joined by Manoj and Harneet. Say hi guys.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about various news which happened in the last 2 weeks or last week, whatever. But we have been little inactive, I would say. The Olympic 2 weeks were there. The shows were on break. We were also on a break.
For the Olympics, that's why.
We were watching, guys. Gold.
Manoj participated in the Olympics also.
Oh, but that would be disrespect to the actual people who participated.
But guys, Modi ji did it. He got us so many.
Gold medal tally, highest medal tally.
Are we a real news channel now that we are praising Modi ji on this channel?
But guys, news night. I think next week is gonna be like so much is happening. So many videos will be there. You guys will unsubscribe. It's like so many videos I cannot watch. But more content coming. But tonight we'll be talking about some various stuff that happened in the news segment. And we'll do these maybe once a month every time some big news comes out, and we'll just sit here, talk as have our opinions, and
or even if no news
or
comes out,
judge other
you
people.
just be silent here.
Yeah, nation wants to know. Nation wants to know.
Like we judge Manoj usually, so we'll do it for other people as well.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing tonight, and let us know your thoughts in the chat. Great to have you, and again, as always, if you enjoy, like, share, subscribe. Wow, the timing, it worked perfectly. But yeah guys, I think without any delay, what about you guys? How are you? We didn't even get to talk behind the scenes, so
Yeah,
here it is. Very professional.
Manoj is now away from his MBA and into his corporate life, so he's a big man now.
Yeah,
no.
too busy.
Too busy.
Like, I think this is the first time we even talked after the last time we met for the reaction. But yeah.
To be fair, no new episodes came out. Nothing came in the last.
But you could still give a call to a friend, Come on.
No one doesn't pick up my calls.
No, either send us 10% of your salary, dude. That will work too.
Hey, I joined. Okay, Nona Prince is that YouTube membership.
Oh yeah,
I
thank you for that. We'll start on this channel soon, guys. Take us to 1,000 subscribers.
I kept commenting on the live streams and all of Nona. Like, I used to pop in, write something, and get out.
Yeah. Abhi Krishna, New Justice League is developing under WB and DC. Oh, he removed that. Okay. But we'll talk about that.
That was confidential information. That was the leak we were looking for.
Breaking news, exclusive.
Is that we are going to talk about right now? Yes, keep everything aside. New Justice League movies come.
Yeah. And I think Varun also said, damn, I would really like to have seen the Ayer Cut. I didn't. Okay, we'll come to that Ayer Cut.
What is
A
the
sequel though.
stream?
Okay, Abhi Krishna changed it. It's like New Justice League movie developing under WB and DC as a sequel with new director. Okay.
Sequel to which
Interesting.
though?
Sequel to Birds of Prey.
But before that, I think guys, let's go with the first. I'll just bring everyone down. Talking about the first, and today, guys, very professional. So our first topic is Scarlet Johansson, the Black Widow, has sued Disney and Marvel over the release of Black Widow on direct to Disney Plus, and the agreement was very different. And a lot of things happened, and then Disney replied, and people were bashing them, and all of that. So I'll just put up
was bashing Scarlet Johansson also. Like, it was very weird.
Yeah. So if Harneet, can you give us a synopsis of whatever happened, and then we'll dive into our opinions about it.
So the basically giving you a background of like how people work in MCU, how actors get paid basically is like, apart from their actual fees with every movie, they get some percentage of money out of the cinema hall tickets and all the merchandising and cinema, all the movie hall ticket, Bollywood. So what we say, that box office collection basically. So they get something out of it. And due to this pandemic and most of the cinema halls all over the world being shut down, Scarlett Johansson is now her lawyer basically is saying that she didn't get much amount that she would have gotten, if they would have only released in the theaters. So what Disney did is they actually delayed it for a while. We know that we have been waiting for the movie for a long time,
We're
and they
still
finally
waiting.
decided.
India is still waiting.
Yeah, so we are watching through our friends basically.
Yeah.
So
we don't pirate.
I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. I'll wait.
Yeah, Nona has not watched it. He doesn't have a video already recorded.
Yeah. So not getting into that, but what Disney did was, they, instead of releasing in only on OTT platform, they waited for some times that some theaters may open, and they will do a mixed kind of a release somewhere in theaters and some on OTT. And India is all still waiting. Like, there is no release date, actual release date, or which platform they're gonna release on that.
Is 10th the release, like the release date for DVD and all home media? Because I think the news was that on 10th, even in India, the film released, but then this case happened. Maybe it got delayed.
So what they're trying to do in India is, like, they are currently focusing on, like, what they did with what we say, Justice League Snyder Cut. So not a premium membership, but a free access pass to watch one movie, that kind of a thing that they did on Disney Plus as well. They didn't just show it to everybody who has Disney Plus subscription, but they introduced a pass kind of a thing that you buy for like $10-15 and you can watch the movie on Disney Plus as well. So this happened, and now Disney is like countering it, that Scarlett Johansson has already earned a lot of money due to the access pass thing as well. People who are watching it on Disney Plus, subscribing on Disney Plus, and they have given that percentage of that sales to her instead of the box office sales. So it didn't make any difference. In the longer run, it had actually increased her revenue from the movie. So there is a clash from both the parties, and this is something that this is the last thing that we wanted in the MCU, a clash between the studio and the actors that we have. This is something very evident in other studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think, but people are saying WB did a better job at this with Wonder Woman, and
for once they actually negotiated with Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins before Wonder Woman 84 released, but only for that movie though. Like, apparently that was the only movie where they negotiated. But
see, my point is, like, this is one of those cases where you can't do anything about it, because they haven't seen these kind of acquisitions and all this countering, all these things happening before from the actors parts basically. What they did previously was, whenever an actor had an issue, they recasted him. But at this point of time, you can't recast Scarlett Johansson from all the previous movies she has done. You can't do that. So there is a bit of a legal issue, and there is a bit of personal issue as well. Like, she was not pretty confident about her future in the MCU, like Black Widow's future. Basically, she knew she's dead, but is there gonna be any other movie, or she's?
I think recently it came out that she, like, the case happened because it like she doesn't have any other movies signed. So basically that's the reason, that's the biggest reason she did it. Otherwise they would have done it behind the scenes and all. But
see, this is the thing, like, this you can see with actors from Game of Thrones as well. Like, those people are not getting a lot of jobs. They are a niche kind of performing actors now. So like the Bruce Wayne character in the Titans, he's also not getting a lot of money for the part he's playing. Anywhere you see Bruce Wayne in any kind of a show, it's a big deal. But here it's not. Because that actor was
probably because of the show.
See, that's another thing we can talk about. But what I'm trying to say is, like, Game of Thrones actors are not getting a lot of jobs. Like,
I don't think that's just with Game of Thrones.
And no, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, true. But I think what you said is correct, because I think many of the actors who act in mainstream media, like mainstream pop culture kind of movies, whether it's Harry Potter or the Twilight series or everything, like, they had to go through that indie phase again, where they did a lot of indie movies and stuff.
There are a lot of examples. Like, Taylor Lautner is a big example of that. And then there are Matthew Perry from Friends is a huge example of that. That he didn't get any work after that. After Friends show ended. So this is something like MCU has become so big that hiring actors who have worked in the past in MCU, it's a very big task. Like, those are very mainstream, big actors, big names now. So you can't hire them at a fees you could hire an indie actor. So that's also an issue with people like Scarlett Johansson. So she wants to, like, I'm not judging her for this, but she also has to worry about her future as well. What if she can't find work for like 5 years? She can't
But
work.
Come on, she'll find.
I think she's a superstar, right?
Scarlett
Like, in her own
Johansson will
right.
find it, right? I think
She's
she also did
kind of,
Marriage Story, right? She was nominated.
Yeah.
She did Jojo's
and
Rabbit.
think about it, in MCU, Black Widow didn't have a lot to do. To be very fair, to be very honest, like she did get the Avengers movies, she was in the Captain America movies, and but that was it.
But
No,
how does
I'm
that?
talking about the tag, right? Like she's an Avenger now. So hiring an Avenger actor in another movie which
You
doesn't
sound
have
like
that
the villain
much.
of the movie now.
No, but I think for Scarlett,
have
like
an
she
Avenger.
did a Marriage Story, like after Avengers.
Yeah, that's
So
what
I
I'm
think I
saying,
don't think for her. Forget that. Okay, let's not go there. But let's come
I
back to the
actually have
case.
some
I think
interesting- you go.
my first thing is that I don't like there are some people who are relating this business side to how Black Widow was done dirty in the MCU. I'm like, no, don't connect, don't get so emotional about these things. Let's take what the case is about, and I think there are a lot of layers to it. So let's explore those
Just
layers.
like, are you stuck for me only, or
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is video stuck?
No,
I'm
one's
stuck.
stuck for me.
But on my side, everyone is fine. So that's what matters because people are seeing that.
It's kind of hilarious. You're like your eyes is closed and
Yeah, okay, whatever. But people can see everyone, right? So that's great.
Cool.
See, I think with the Scarlett Johansson thing, like I recently read an article where many of the artists in Hollywood were praising her for taking a stand against Disney, and they were like writing that she's.
I think
sort of
even some
this flag
Emma Stone and
Emma Stone,
Yeah. She did for Cruella.
Emilia Blunt also. They are also planning to do it.
Emily Blunt is like
Emily Blunt.
planning.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. So see, I think that whatever the situation is, you got to renegotiate. It's a contract after all, right? Whatever it is, it's a legally binding contract.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised with Disney's response to this, saying that, hey, we are in a pandemic and she's only thinking about money. It was a very unprofessional response from their lawyers, from the Disney side of things. So that really surprised me because it felt more like a public outcry kind of.
And the news is that Kevin Feige is really upset and embarrassed about the situation.
See, the point is like we can't argue that Disney is a monopoly right now. They have so much studios and so much IPs right now. Like nobody can even fight with them. So if any actor takes a stand against such a monopolist entity, they will create a kind of a support. They'll have some kind of support with them. So if like people like Emma Stone and Emily Blunt are also planning to do this on the basis of what outcome like ScarJo's contract or her suing on Disney does, so we will see like these things happening more.
But I think if they're smart enough, they'll not let it happen again and they'll negotiate already.
Yeah, because Shang-Chi's only in theaters now, right? Like in the promo, they said only in theaters.
Only in theaters.
Yeah. But also the cases are rising in America also, so the future is grim.
See, this is there is a perspective to it. You can look at I'm not saying that Disney is right or Scarlett Johansson is right. So she's saying that I have earned 20 million, I could have earned 30 million. So you see my point. Like you have already earned 30 million in a pandemic situation.
I don't think it's about the money though.
No, it's about what is it else about? Like she has no movies in the MCU in the future. She's dead.
But I think it's more about honoring that commitment. Because releasing it on Disney Plus did hamper box office potential.
Okay, let's break this down. As I was saying, there are layers to it. So I think the first thing about Disney, right? Now, I think it is a very stupid thing if Disney didn't renegotiate or do it behind the scenes, and they just let it go. And I think the news is that they were just trying to push it for Disney Plus because of increasing subscriber numbers and everything. But regardless, I think that they're even their statement is so like bullshit. Like it's a pandemic area. Like, but it's a pandemic thing for you guys, so the money is little tight. But you are expecting your already subscribers to pay $30 extra to watch this film.
Yeah.
You are
it's very hypocritical from Disney's side to say this because they literally opened theme parks and invited people to come during the pandemic.
Yeah, so I think that's really bullshit statement from them. But coming to Scarlett Johansson's argument, right? That I think the contractual thing is that even if this film had directly come to theaters, what is the guarantee that it would have done more? I think Disney Plus did more. They did more. They earned more money because of that $30 thing.
Yeah.
And if she had the negotiation was she gets a amount from that also, then I think if she was not ready, like see, I don't get the point that if that contract, the renegotiation already happened, but she was not happy, that's a separate thing. But
true.
they change the things without telling her or without clarifying anything. That's a separate thing. So which is it?
See, this is not what happened, right? They have been in talks with ScarJo and her team for the whole thing. Like, how should we release it? And the release on Disney Plus and the theaters was something that had been negotiated with them. It's not like Scarlett Johansson didn't know that her movie was going to be released on the OTT platform. It did, and $30 pass for a movie and then earning 30 million because of it. It's not a small deal, yeah. You have earned more than you would have earned if your movie collected $1 billion on the box office. If the movie had earned 1 billion on the box office, she would have just gotten $15 million.
Is that right? Is the math right?
It's a 15% kind of a thing.
Interesting. So she got more if the pandemic was not even there.
See, if the pandemic was not there, we don't know what the current situation of MCU would have been. See, people are enjoying MCU more. People are watching MCU more just because we are all confined in our homes. We have been relying on OTT platforms. We have been buying subscriptions. See, Netflix, Disney Plus, all have grown tremendously in pandemic just because we are all inside our homes. There are no movie theaters. Everything that's coming out in the multimedia, it's on OTT. So that's something Disney Plus also took advantage of, and that advantage transferred to Scarlett Johansson in the shorter run, right? So saying that she didn't earn is not a right way to approach, right? Suing Disney just because you earned a little different amount, even if it's like 1 or 2 million less than you would have earned. It's not a right approach to do it. Like you were saying that you were not informed, and these are allegations. These are not like outright facts that she was not informed.
So I think
like Manoj knows. In MBA, we are also learning like how contractual thing works, right? So there will be a to and fro in this that will at least happen for 6 months or more. So, and then the outcome will come. And if Disney is like, for Disney's part, my saying is, even if Disney has to pay like $5 million just to get rid of this, lawsuit, they will do it. Like $5 million is nothing for them. It's about
they'll settle out of court, I think.
They will settle with ScarJo.
But I think see now coming, if whatever you guys have told me, I'm not really let into much, but whatever you guys have told me is that I think that point of Scarlett Johansson and not really knowing the future, maybe that's why she did it, considering the deal was little like this. Because if she earned like considerably, considering if it was a only theater release, I think she earned more than that. If she did, I think then the point of suing doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but then why would other actors also be following the same sort of thing? And if it was renegotiated, wouldn't there be a renegotiated contract also? Wouldn't be relying on the original contract, right?
How would she
see? There's a leverage, There's a leverage now. That if Disney doesn't listen, right? If they also do a case, if other actors do the case, that's a big PR scandal for Disney. So just for that not happening, the actors feel like, now give me more. So I'll not do any case. And
how can ScarJo say that she didn't know about the renegotiations if she has got the revenues from Disney Plus? Like she has got the amount from Disney Plus, the 10% or 15%, whatever. So it's not like she is saying that I didn't get the money. She has got the money, but on the other hand, she is saying I didn't know about the renegotiations. So that even doesn't make sense. Apart from that, like Disney is an entity, right? So if an entity is like threatened because of a lawsuit, people will follow that thing. It will become a trend. It becomes a trend. Like
Lucifer in the chat is saying she should have got 50 million. Instead, she got 20 million.
I also read something like that. I read like that.
I think the next point.
That's just a projection, right? She can say whatever. She can say I could have earned like 100 billion. So it's about proving what you are saying, right? So
that's true. But my point for Disney is that she's Scarlett Johansson. She's one of the biggest names in Hollywood and the world. You pay her 50 million extra, man. Just have her happy and have her on your side. Like, why would you, from a business aspect?
Now it will not make a difference until the lawsuit has ended. Because even if
now it's gone.
It will be their own fault.
The boat has sailed.
So, it's like you are admitting your own fault now if you are doing that, if you are giving her $50 million.
I do understand what Harneet is saying, but I really am a little skeptical about the renegotiation part, like how much of that happened, who approached whom, and stuff like that. Because I'm not very sure how much of that actually happened. Because obviously Scarlett Johansson was aware that this was also going on Disney Plus. She was in the promotions. She was doing all that. But maybe behind the scenes at that point in time, even still renegotiations were maybe happening.
See, there was one more thing that she wanted a theatrical release, only theatrical release. But that's not practical in the time we are living. I think Disney had to put it out, right? Even if they wanted to boost the Disney Plus sales, but that's their film, right? They can do whatever they want.
It's not about sales at this point.
She's also the producer, right? On Black Widow, if I remember.
Yeah, she's executive producer.
Producer. Yeah. See, the point right now is not about sales coming out of Black Widow. It's because if they would have like pushed it more back, they have a whole slate of movies coming down the line this year and next year. They would have to push back all those movies as well, and that's a bigger loss than not releasing it on in theaters or OTT platforms, whatever they did. So because of one movie, you can't. It will be a DCU situation then. You can't release this movie, but you have to release the next one, and it will create a confusion.
True. I do agree. But I'm very surprised for the first of all that something like this came out of Disney and their response. And the lawyers' response.
But
it felt like a very WB response,
But it's
from the lawyers, like
it's been very quiet, right, since like the last week.
As I said in the starting, right, Disney is an entity. They have a lot of IPs. They don't have a lot of attention just on Marvel itself. Kevin Feige is the one who takes care of Marvel, and he's very emotional and passionate about MCU. Disney is not like that. Disney is just paying Kevin Feige to be passionate about MCU. So they don't care because they have got the lawsuit on their hands. Kevin Feige doesn't have the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So there is a difference of hierarchy.
That's totally fine. I'm just saying that the response was very unprofessional in my opinion. Just
I think on Disney's aspect, they should have handled it better. That this is not a behavior like a monopoly like Disney should be doing.
That you would expect from.
And I think I can wrap it up here now. But I was gonna say that like I think the question here is of more of morality and ethicalness than the legal terms and how much money. I think that's where the line is. People are drawing it. And I saw a lot of people, a lot of opinions, and I think mostly I saw, people favoring Scarlett Johansson because she's an artist and monopoly business are always bad. But I don't really look at that way. Check the facts, what's happening, and, decide for yourself. But
all these things will come out in the end. Like even in the upcoming days, we'll get to know what's actually happening in the.
If ScarJo is, on the wrong side here, Disney will destroy her putting out the facts. But they can do the opposite also to control her and, let her only remove the, lawsuit and everything.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. They'll settle it out of court and then after a few years, no one will speak about this. That's what's going to happen now. But
see, whenever like monopolies and business are right in a situation, people don't talk about it much often. Like it's like their duty to be right. And whenever they are wrong and the people who is suing them is right, it's like an outrage altogether, like it's happening with ScarJo. So
it's like a revolution.
It's a revolution.
Yeah.
But I'm all in for people taking on multi-million corporations.
We all are. That's what we always support the underdog story, right? We are always a sucker for underdog stories.
Yeah. So let's see how this ends up,
Yeah.
Because I feel like even now, like Harneet said some facts, and then in the chat we have some other facts. So there's a lot of non-clarity about how much you would actually earn, and because I think whatever it is, this was a 200 million budget film, so they were definitely aiming for that 800 million, 1 billion sort of box office mark, I guess. So
pre-pandemic, right?
Yeah, pre-pandemic. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, right now we don't really have.
There are a lot of aspects to it. Like she was an executive producer, and then actors get some percentage, and then she, as an actor, she has a fees for the movie as well, and her whole management team had some fees. So these things, we don't know all the nits and grits of all the all these contracts that happen between movies. Franchises and actors. So let's see what happens, and
I think what only thing we can agree on is that Disney's response was very undisciplined.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think at the end of the day, this shouldn't have happened. Basically, and it's like that's it. That's the end of the story. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is the Ayer Cut. And Manoj, you go ahead with recently David Ayer posted something about
Yeah.
his cut and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, so ever since the Snyder Cut movement picked up momentum, the Ayer Cut movement has also been there. It's not been as popular as the Snyder Cut movement, but there's been a couple of Twitter accounts, I think, just sort of mobilizing the fans, sharing concept art of David Ayer's original vision, and even I think they're even in contact with the director about the different stuff of the movie. So what happened was. When the Suicide Squad reviews started coming in, James Gunn's Suicide Squad reviews started coming in, there was a lot of bashing on the first Suicide Squad film, like the David Ayer movie. And which, I think after a point, like David Ayer has been hearing criticism of this film for a long time now. It's been 5 years, people are still not let it go. So I think he got a little bit emotional because of the fact that was not really his movie. Now, I am considering what we saw with the Snyder Cut. Like, whatever your feelings are towards the Snyder Cut, you know that these are different films. It's like, it's a whole different artistic vision. So I think probably something similar happened to Suicide Squad. The producers of the movie have also come out and said that, there were actually two different versions of the film that was cut. There was one cut by David Ayer. There was one cut by a trailer editing team. They tested both. Audiences didn't like both, so they decided to mix something up and put it on in theaters in a true Warner Brothers style, you could say. So anyway, because of the review bashing, because of it was an unnecessary review bashing, you could say. Like many people were saying, many people are criticizing David Ayer's movie in the Suicide Squad reviews. So David Ayer put out a statement. I don't really remember all the statement, but he said that that was not really his movie. What came out, he is really proud of what he actually put together, what he wrote, and he hopes that one day people can see it. But like for now, he's not going to talk about the movie anymore. But he would want people not to like bash on, put his name while bashing on the 2016 release basically. And I think there was also something else that happened which I don't know is really in the information of public. So this Suicide Squad movie, actually the release got preponed by a few days. So, and August 5th was, I think, the anniversary of the 5-year anniversary of the original Suicide Squad movie.
Oscar winning.
Yeah, the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad movie. So what actually happened is David Ayer actually urged fans not to tweet release the Ayer Cut on the day of the Suicide Squad release, the James Gunn release, because he didn't want anyone taking attention away from what James Gunn actually did, which I thought was a really good gesture by him. He sort of urged the account to just spread this information that he doesn't want people to do it. If they want to do it, it's fine, but he doesn't want people to do it. So I think overall David Ayer is a pretty solid dude. He has been supporting James Gunn's Suicide movie right from the moment it came out. And I know, look, business, maybe from a business sense, it doesn't make much sense to put out the Ayer Cut. But honestly saying, WB also doesn't make a lot of sense nowadays. So if they can put out the Ayer Cut maybe a couple of months after this release of this movie. Now, this movie is also not doing too well in the box office. That's a whole other issue. But maybe after a few months, they could put out like an HBO Max exclusive. I don't think it'll really hurt anyone much. The actors all seem interested to watch the original vision. Just put it out there. Just end this all. Especially if David Ayer saying that it just would take a few million, maybe just do it. I don't know. But anyway, that's the whole story about the Ayer Cut in the last few weeks, basically.
Any thoughts, Harneet?
See, I'll put it out front in you guys. This is not gonna happen. Like Ayer Cut is not gonna release. Just be practical. I'm just being practical about it. See, Snyder Cut being released was once in a moon kind of a thing. It will never happen again, even in DC or in like Disney, wherever you see this. Talking about the movie, like, see, there is a difference between a bad movie and an altered movie, right? And if they say that the movie that came out is bad because it was altered by the studio, and we saw that happened to BVS, and we saw it happen to Justice League also. So yeah, I agree that it could have been the case with Suicide Squad as well, that the data makes sense that way, that it's more probable that it happened than not. Talking about David Ayer, like, see, this guy is very decent from what I have seen in his tweets and all that, right? So he's not that aggressive towards WB to release his. And when this movie was announced, the Suicide Squad, the latest one, he urged his fan to keep quiet about releasing the Ayer Cut until the Suicide Squad movie comes out. And just because this movie is now out, fans are now emerging from their caves. Like now we want the previous version of the Suicide Squad as well. But I don't think it will make sense even financially or practically to release that movie. It already the DCU is like a huge pile of crap right now. They are piling one movie over another. See, I said something about DCU and he got something stuck in his throat. Like,
but you know what? After Snyder Cut, never say never. I think when Snyder Cut, it was
That's what I'm
impossible. So
see,
from
Snyder,
after that,
as I said,
I agree. Practically, it's not gonna happen. Even I agree, and I don't even care. That's the one thing. But
Yeah.
even afterwards, what after happened, Snyder Cut, I'll not say never. Say never. Because anything can happen. But I would say, see, the thing is, if Justice League 2 had come out, and then if there were talks about releasing Snyder Cut, they would have never done it.
True,
It came out at the time where they already didn't have a big movie. The pandemic
Yeah.
was happening. They couldn't release anything, and they didn't have a big team up movie. They had it in their editing suite. So like, let's release it. Fans have been 2 years, dude. I've not seen anything like Snyder movement. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any the Ayer Cut is anything like close to that?
It's not
close to
See,
that.
that's
There's
what
no
I said,
point.
right?
And those are like Superman, all these characters. And Suicide Squad characters, we don't even care. I don't know half of their names except Harley Quinn and Headshot, whatever. And like no one cares about those characters. And then the second movie has already come out, which is getting rave reviews. I think Lucy was also mentioning it's amazing. I will be watching it soon, and next week we are doing a discussion, guys. So do join us for that.
I've
And
already seen.
already it's getting so much better in similar characters and everything now. Now why would they dig their own grave and like, oh, there was Suicide Squad, a better cut which doesn't make the film better at all, and watch that. I don't think anyone. It's not even worth millions. As if the director is saying just 2-3 millions,
when we
it's not
talked
even worth
about-
that.
When we talked about releasing the Snyder Cut when the movie got released, I talked about like this is a sign of admitting your own mistakes, right? Like we did the wrong thing by altering the movie, and here is the proper version of it. And WB has done that by a heavy heart. They have done that already once. They're not going to do it again. So
It isn't. They're like, hey, the previous guy screwed up. Yeah.
plus the characters have already moved on. The characters from the previous movie
That's the
came in
main
this
problem,
movie, and
right?
they have moved on. They don't want anything to do with that movie already. Plus the characters, as Nona said, like Superman and Justice League movie is a different kind of scope than a movie like Suicide Squad. Nobody cares. Like even the director says in the trailers, like you don't get too attached. So that's even and the premise of both the movies is totally same. Maybe the villain is different and the characters are different, but the premise is just the same. Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad, it's about people who are going to die protecting other people. That's it. There is nothing different. And on top of that, you are going to bring a third movie which was a better version of the first movie, and this is what's getting bringing DCU down. They have been piling on their own mistakes.
I mean, to be honest, they're already down. Like,
see,
it's
I'm
like,
talking about the foundation, right? It's rotten. So if you pile up good movies on a rotten foundation, it's not gonna make sense.
So, I mean, see, the whole concept of Suicide Squad is that you get to watch all your favorite villains all band together. Now, for the villains to become favorites, it would have been great to see them in the solo movies, and also it would have been like, for example, like I'm not even trying to like. I have been like crapping on the CW verse a lot recently, but when they did Suicide Squad and Arrow, it was more fun because you were like, oh, this villain, oh, remember this villain. They brought everyone together.
Yeah.
So it was fun because you characters throughout. But the route of WB took was that.
That's not even possible, dude. Come on.
See, callbacks and nostalgia have another kind of effect on people, right? When we watch movies, and we see Avengers movie was successful just because of the nostalgia effect and the callback effect. Like these people that we saw in the previous movies, they are banding together.
They're all coming
to beat
together,
a bigger villain. So, the scope is bigger. And Suicide Squad didn't have a build-up of that kind of a scope. See, one of their own members goes rogue, and there's always a huge beam of light coming to the sky, and there are always like people who are gonna destroy that. So there
was also a dance in the middle.
Yeah. So that movie had its own flaws, but it had its own moments also. You know, I don't totally hate that movie. I watched that movie, but I just don't care about that movie. That's it, as Mona said. And same with this Suicide Squad movie. I'm not spoiling, but I just watched the movie. But I even as soon as I switched off the movie, as soon as the post credit scene ended, I was like, okay, fine, done. There's nothing to care about.
See, the harsh reality is that WB didn't release Snyder Cut because of the fandom or they did wrong and something like that. They saw the potential of getting people on HBO Max. That was the sole purpose. That's the business decision. Nothing else than that. No morality, ethics, and nothing. It was nothing about that. They already had a big, like a porous footage they already had with themselves, and it was the right time to release it and on a lot of subscribers, and they did that. That's the thing. And for Suicide Squad, no one cared when the movie came out. Why would anyone care about an alternate cut about it? I don't care.
See,
for Justice League, I was like my childhood, favorites, and they were ruined. And I want in my justice that I wanted Justice League done justice. No pun intended.
That's also the difference, right? Because David Ayer was like a true team player. So when they were like, okay, we're going to reshoot stuff, I think Jeff Johns also came and he wrote some 10, 20, 30 pages for the movie, and then they reshot it. David Ayer never protested. He was like, okay, I'll be with you. I will direct these scenes. It's all fine. So even when the movie released, he was with the team. Like when Justice League released, Snyder was nowhere in Snyder. Like he had completely gone off, even though it was for personal reasons. People could sense that sort of distance between the director and the actual film. And then a lot of information came out. That's not really the case with Suicide Squad. Like it's been very delayed, and it was only once the Snyder Cut got that momentum, they were like, "Hey, even the Suicide Squad was butchered," and that's when David Ayer started speaking a little bit. So I think that same momentum is not quite there for the.
See, my point previously was about build up and callbacks. So Justice League had was Man of Steel, BVS and Wonder Woman movie to call back the characters that were on the movie. So if they weren't done justice to them, if the characters were not shown properly, if the movie was not done properly, we knew that something was wrong. In the Suicide Squad movie, we actually didn't know what was wrong because we haven't seen all those characters previously. So even if there were changes, even if there was something wrong, we didn't know about it. Like in the Justice League movie, the first scene about Superman and his famous or infamous scene, we knew that something was wrong with it. And if the design of Deadshot or other people, I don't even remember the names, if it was different in two different scenes, I wouldn't have cared. Like I wouldn't have even noticed. Like the costume has even changed.
I think the color of the costume, they got an Oscar for that. I don't think that was the issue with the film.
I am taking just an example, dude. You don't realize the problem of a movie or the characters until you have seen them previously in some movie. If there is an ensemble movie, like imagine Iron Man just getting in one scene a red golden armor, and then coming out of the scene he has a green armor. So you'll notice there is something wrong with that.
You'll be like, did Joss Whedon direct this? Even though, you know what?
Okay.
I don't want to say like off topic, like we give a lot of crap for Joss Whedon, but Avengers 1, pretty decent job. What he did, like
decent?
What he was able to do.
Decent.
No, decent. Like it does get like, especially now watching all the Avengers after that. Then when you watch the first, you're like, oh.
But I think first one still holds up for me. It's easily.
You can't compare it with Endgame, right? There is a huge margin of CGI and all that.
I'm not even comparing it. Once you've been with these characters for a long time, then when you go back to the beginning, you get that feeling that, okay, I've seen this, I've been there, done that kind of a feeling.
For me, it's totally different. Like when we went to Avengers, 2012 scene in the Avengers Endgame movie, that was a huge goosebump moment.
Yeah, that's true. That I agree,
So and even if I watch those movies going back, I then watch it with another eye. Like I find details, I find Easter eggs, and throw future callbacks.
Watching older films again, I was like, oh, I could connect all the dots. So that was really fun.
I can't get, like, for me the color grade, I don't know why it really gets to me. Like I just can't stop thinking how flat it looks. Like the first Avengers movie, because everything looks so muted that I'm like, but I never realized that before.
I think the emotional connect is, greater than that.
That's true. But for me, that's the thing. That's off.
Don't mind, but I had a joke in mind about Manoj talking about flat and flat picture quality coming from a guy who just watches movie in darkness, who loves night movies. You
Oh.
you don't even need days. Just go from one night to other night. You don't even need color grading for that. And coming from that guy, you are talking about color correction and dullness.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, even I didn't
See,
get it fully.
in DCU, we have movies that are popular just because, there is a meme about it. Like, if you want to see darkness or, just dark
Okay,
picture and all the
okay.
night
Ah,
scenes and all that.
I think it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
It didn't
didn't.
land,
But
it's on me.
I think just circling back to the Ayer Cut, I think we all made some pretty interesting points. We talked about the business proposition. We talked about how it would make sense. But personally, just being someone who follows David Ayer, especially after it, and who has watched some of his movies before, like Fury and stuff like that, I would be down to watch his original vision. I think it would be interesting to see, and maybe it might not happen now, but maybe something like the Richard Donner cut, maybe after a few years down the line, it could be like an exclusive. It could be part of a maybe DVD thing, DVD collection, something like that, maybe. And you never know if the fan approach sort of stays. Maybe you could see something happening, but I know the chances are really low, especially considering this movie came out. But personally, I would love to see what David Ayer sort of, what he wanted to do initially with the movie.
Okay. I think we'll end this segment saying that if the cut ever comes out, Manoj's
You'll
review
see
will
it.
be out on the channel, so subscribe for that.
Yeah.
Let's move
So,
on.
you haven't read chats for a while now.
Yeah, I think
there any
Lucifer said it looked like a TV show. Cinematography was really sucked. BVS cinematography is top notch, of course. And I had a poll out also.
That's true,
Ayer Cut, yes or no? 50-50%. 2 votes only though. So, but I think moving on to the
Let me vote
next
on
thing.
I just voted and it's now 67% no.
Okay. Manoj, it's your turn now. But anyways, I think the next topic is the Flash movie, guys. Oh my God, what's happening with this one, man? It's I think this is DC's Spider-Man No Way Home. There's so much news coming out about this. So many characters, so many things, so many leaks, set leaks. I'm like, where is Flash? So
Oh man,
He's running, no? That's why you can't see him.
this
I'm really
this
worried about
movie
this film, man.
is-
It's like Christmas for Manoj. The whole next year is like Christmas for Manoj. He's getting 3
I
Batman,
don't know,
3 different
man.
kind of Batman.
Yeah, okay. See,
Live action.
Two
all those
Batmans
live
in one
action.
movie.
it's like I really just like I like going crazy, okay? But when you go crazy, it's like we talked about the first Avengers movie, right? Like like I still feel like it was done pretty well. Like whatever my thoughts are about the current stuff, but you had all these setup movies. You build the Unity up, so then you could do something crazy. Like you could do Civil War, you could do Infinity War, where you shake the universe up completely. You give thrilling stories. It's not even with Marvel. You take Harry Potter for example. You establish all these characters, then in the end you do something totally crazy. You destroy the school. You do all that. Here, I don't know what setup they're going to use properly. Like on one hand, you have some things that Snyder sort of set up in one side. Then you have some things which WB, Walter Hamada, Jeff Johns sort of pushed into. So I am if they pull this off, it's going to be one heck of an achievement. Like, but I do like the director. I think Andy Muschietti, I think he did I can't remember right now, but he did some pretty interesting movies that I thought are good, and I think he's a pretty capable director. And like I don't know, I don't really know what vision he has. Like this is one movie which I'm very terrified of. Like I'm like it's like one of those movies where I'm like I'm very interested to see what it is, but I'm also very like cautious being a fan. I'm like, where are you going to go with all this?
Thomas Pandit fan says, but will there be a crossover between CW Flash and Ezra Flash? Yes, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
The thing is, it is gonna happen,
At least a
but
post-credit scene, man. At least a post-credit scene would be great. Just for
man.
us, for the
dude, they have so much
I
content
had a
to post
rumor
with
about
it.
this. Like, there are like thousands of rumors right now, but one of them was like Ezra Miller is playing the villain of the movie as well.
Yeah.
The version of Flash.
It's a future, yeah.
So it's like a Flashpoint kind of a concept where he changes something and things go crazy and then
I've heard that
he has to-
he's playing there's like 2 Ezra Flash. One is the one we know, and the other is actually we don't know. I think it's from Justice League, so we really don't know that Flash. So, but whatever. So
And the VFX artist, he said some. Now it's not sure what he meant, whether he just meant to say, but he said that a lot of what Snyder did with the Flash in terms of visual effects, we're taking inspiration from, and that's sort of evolving through this movie. So some fans took it in the sense that, oh wait, are they continuing that Flash? But some people are like, no, it's just a visual aspect. What Snyder
see, consider Flash. What Flash went through in Justice League, the Snyder cut. What's the difference? Basically, that he just time travels, right? That's the only.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the visual effects artist was like, the way how he time travels, the way how he moves, and all everything that what Snyder brought in, they're sort of evolving and continuing it. So many people sort of assume that, hey, wait, are they continuing the Snyder Flash story?
No, that's what. No, that's the plot wise. There's only one difference, right, in both the films for Flash.
But he's also not a pussy in Snyder.
That's a character detail, but I'm talking about the plot. Like in Aquaman, he mentioned Steppenwolf, right? So it can be like anything.
You can set it up somehow.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the timeline as well. Like, when is it happening, or like?
And
the Iris
Keaton
actress is
there.
back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. But
the father is not back.
Yeah, they changed it.
Is,
yeah,
because that's.
I think they got the mother also now.
Yeah,
like Nora Allen is also part of the story.
I think the mother will now take over the father's role, like how they do in the Flash TV show, where Joe and Cecile did this. Joe's around.
Please don't take her name. But yeah, I was saying.
I like the bike that they introduced in the set videos.
Yeah, Batffleck, right?
Batffleck's bike is like so cool.
So there's rumor about Superman also. Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah, but then people are saying that's not true, and I was like, shit, man. Like, if it brings back Henry Cavill Superman,
why this?
See, what I wanted from a Flash movie was, I'm not too sure about the rumors and what's gonna happen. Like, we have to see. What I wanted, I can only be sure about what I wanted to see. It was a live action Flashpoint movie. That movie is on another level for me. Like, that started the
Flashpoint is an Infinity War Endgame for DC. So
yeah. So they did Flashpoint movie, and then they started the DC animated universe from that movie. That was the first movie in the DC animated universe. And that movie was like bonkers. And if they do it on live action, like, that's like a
Flashpoint is basically Justice League. Like, it's like everything.
It is because like even
at some point they have to do something like Captain America Civil War, like where Avengers will always be in other characters' movies as well. You are going to build a shared universe, and you have to deal with this. So if there is a Flash movie, you are going to see at least some of the Justice League members. It's not like they're sleeping for the whole movie, and then in the next movie they come along.
I just want to say what Nona was saying. Like, even the animated movie, it's called Justice League Flash.
Yeah.
It's not like
Flashpoint Paradox.
So it's to be very honest, look, I just wanted to see a normal Flash movie, like which builds to the Flashpoint.
Nah.
Because I wanted them to establish the characters, to establish the villains. Like,
see, the thing is that if they do that, no one will watch the film. They need to sell it, so they got two Batmans.
Yeah, man.
They are so desperate to sell the film. They got two Batmans. They got Supergirl. I have no idea what Supergirl is now.
See, my point is, like, I'm more excited to see Michael Keaton's version of Batman more than Batfleck. I don't know why.
Hey, shush. Don't say that.
I know Batfleck. This is Batfleck's last movie, potentially last movie. But still, like, I want to see what
they're doing. Talks about his
Michael Keaton's Batman.
HBO show, maybe Batfleck.
No, that's also the fan approach. Like the fan.
Okay.
So it's like.
But
see, I will say this. One of my favorite moments in Flashpoint is the fact when Barry delivers a letter from Thomas Wayne, the alternate Batman, back to the original Batman. Yeah. Now, I was looking forward to that. So even when they cast it, I forgot the actor's name.
I don't think it's a Flashpoint. I think they clarified it. It's not a Flashpoint movie. This is not a Flashpoint movie.
It's not a Flashpoint movie.
I thought that they would do the Thomas Wayne thing. I thought they would bring back the actor who played Thomas Wayne in BVS, and because he's a pretty big
a huge actor. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a huge actor.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I think the actor and the actress, they were on an interview and they recently said that they would love to do it.
Yeah, and Snyder cast them.
They actually brought them because of that. Yeah. So the Martha Wayne character, she is also from the Walking Dead series, and she is also an amazing actress. Like, seeing her version of Joker would have been great.
It would have been great. So, but now they've gone down this different route where they're taking on Michael Keaton Batman, and now they're also saying that Michael Keaton would be the Batman from now. Like in this universe, he would be like the Nick Fury kind of character that he'll bring. So now Michael Keaton is a great actor. Like there's no doubt, he's a delight to watch. Even in like I think his in Marvel when he played Vulture, like I thought that was like one of the best villains that we have got in that kind of great, like a common criminal, but he brought so much to that character.
He's coming back in Mobius though.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that, man.
Whatever
please.
It is. So, and that it's not just that he has been a great actor throughout for like
I've seen Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman.
Birdman.
There's nothing wrong about doing that, but I'm just like, what, like, if are they just simply bringing him back just to get people in the seats, or do they have a story to tell?
I think the idea came from the crossover, CW crossover.
Crossover.
They wanted him, but that couldn't be possible. And I think from there they got the idea, let's bring him to the movies, and I think that's the whole thing.
Plus the point is they have to replace Batfleck with someone, no? So better be a veteran actor, a different kind of Batman.
Man, don't say, man. I'm really sad now.
See, that's the practical approach. Like, do you want a Batfleck version of a Batman, like a retired kind of different kind of Batman, so that you can then go towards Batman Beyond. That's the way to go about it.
That is true. Like I think they have to build towards Batman Beyond. Like,
Lucifer Morningstar is a savage, man.
Overly saying, I can't see the chat.
So Lucifer said, "Thank God it's gonna reboot DCU. Let's start fresh." And then he said, "Still it gonna fail." Thomas Patel says, "I feel like the crisis." Thomas says, "I feel like the crisis scene where they meet was intentionally short. Actually, it was not 16:9. 16:9 is the thing they already do. It was actually 1:33, I guess. The aspect ratio. That's the movie aspect ratio. Yeah, so that it could be involved in this film too. But I don't think they'll use this only, because it will make no sense. See, showing Grant Gustin is just like as a character in the movie will make no sense. It has to be either in a quick scene where we just see a flash of him, or sorry, no pun intended. It cannot be a part of the plot line, because it will make no sense to the normal people.
It can be a visual of when he's running through the Speed Force. It can be like a visual of Grant Gustin from a different timeline. It can happen that way also.
Like, see, I was very excited for this when Cyborg was a part of this, but then the whole issue with Ray Fisher happened, and then that kind of dampened my interest with it. I really liked Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller's sort of, the whatever we saw of them in the Snyder, and even so, I was like really looking for, and considering like earlier it was like they were calling it Flashpoint. So considering what an important role Cyborg played in Flashpoint, I was hoping to see Ray Fisher also back, but like in a way at least gives something of a closure to the Snyder fans, like bring some of the characters
they don't
back.
Care, man.
See, you are done. Like, this is not about Snyder fans right now. It's a different kind of movie. Don't relate it to Snyder fans.
Gal Gadot is not part of this, right? We don't know.
No. Not yet. Not yet.
Tomorrow you'll wake up and realize that Shazam is also a part of it.
Oh man!
Hey Rajat, welcome.
Suit looks good, man. Did you guys
see the new suit looks good.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Lucifer, I'm still a DC fan. We never judge that. Don't worry.
I'm here now, so.
Thomas says, I would really love to see the character relationship developed in Cyborg and Barry. Not in this movie, my friend.
That is true, man. And they seem like such good friends even outside the characters, like even in real life, the actors. So it would have been good to see that. Kind of
what else we got? I think we got Supergirl. We got some shots. He'll have a long hair, and there'll be 2 of Ezra Miller's. Then there's the mother also. We got to look at Batmobile, then Bat bike, whatever.
I hope like you said, it's not Flashpoint. I hope they don't even touch the whole him going back in time to save his mother. Yeah. I hope it's a fresh story.
When they need to start, building up, looking ahead, building up to Flashpoint. I think they need to do it.
If that is the case, then I'm like,
this could be a movie where he learns about his powers and that he can time travel.
He gets the name Flash.
He gets the name Flash. He gets a new suit, and all those things happen for him. It should be like a proper introductory movie. Even if we know that he's the Flash or he has the powers of the Flash, it should be like a introductory movie for him. Like you introduce his powers, all the things that a character needs from his first movie.
The main focus should be him.
Yeah,
it has to be his arc. Like you can have all these characters
but it's not going to be. It's going to be Michael Keaton and Batfleck. It's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, even if they try to put the story behind him, like Ezra Miller is the one pushing the story, still people are gonna focus and talk about Michael Keaton. Even we are gonna talk about Michael Keaton and Batffleck more than Ezra Miller's Flash. I know that for a fact.
But have they called it Flashpoint, or what's the title of the movie right now? Is
The
it just the
Flash.
Flash?
The Flash.
Flash.
Yes.
Is it just the Flash? Okay. See, you never know. Like, I came out of the Snyder. Like, when I finished watching the Snyder cut, the first thing I said was, "Damn, that Flash thing was amazing." So, if they can write something so good that he comes out as the best thing in this movie with all these characters, I think
You
then
know
they
why
will
I'm
hit.
smiling?
That's
This is
too
one
much to
movie.
ask.
No, you know why I'm smiling? Just looking at how passionately Manoj is
Yeah.
speaking and how he'll get crushed.
Yeah.
The
So
film comes out.
that's the point I was coming to. Like, that's a lot to ask. Bringing out a decent movie is like a lot to ask from a DCU.
Yeah.
Like that's the condition we are in right now. So like Manoj, talking about it's like is very disheartening at a point. Like, I don't want to see his hopes getting crushed, but like it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Hey man, there was good times. Okay, 2008 and 2012.
Thomas
2005.
says, you think the costume Supergirl will be better in the film? Man, never judge a costume through set photos, please.
Yeah,
Never.
that's true, yeah.
Don't even care about that right
I'm
now.
100% sure it would look amazing.
Yeah.
Costume-wise, I'm not at all worried.
The
to be
set
honest.
photos make the costume. Yeah, don't. Please review Doom Patrol season 1, season 2. Man, Lucifer has been asking this for a long time. We'll get to it.
I have watched season 1.
Is
I think.
Is season 3 coming? No, recently.
Season
Is
2
it
also
coming?
out or season 1 only, right? Season 2 is supposed to come out.
I think I have watched one season only. I don't know.
Yeah, so season 2 is not out yet. It's supposed to come out.
See, whenever the
I'm not
next season
wrong.
is going to come out, before that we will do.
Yeah, that's the.
That was something fun coming out of the CW, or the HBO Max series, whatever.
Or the DC universe. Remember?
There's DC universe,
DC universe was there, something
DC
like
universe.
Even like something like a DC universe, it was so short-sighted. Like, why would you create just an app for DC shows? Like, you have Warner Brothers has such a big catalog. I'm not going to get to it.
that. Let's not go
fine.
there.
Move on.
I was going to say that.
Move on. Move on.
Season 3 is gonna come, so 2 seasons are already out. Okay. We'll get to it, Lucifer.
When
We'll
is
get
season
to
3
it.
coming?
Can you tell us the I think it's not out. Date is not out. But I think mostly after this Titan. So we'll be reacting the first episode. Let's see. Hopefully, I think the reviews are really good. Actually, people have seen it.
I have seen this. I have seen the first season. It's really great. It's actually fun to watch. It's not something like Titans or something. It's very fun to watch.
But
the characters break fourth wall on a regular basis, so you'll love it. That's something Nona loves. I have seen it. I've seen that.
Yeah. All right. But I was gonna ask Manoj, have you seen the Malayalam film Helen? With Anna Ben.
She gets trapped in the fridge.
Yeah. Do you remember the scene in the police station? That famous guy in the... Is Dilip or who's he? Who tries to divert the police officer so they can help. Remember? Like it's like a cameo scene.
Yeah.
So I saw the movie. I had no idea who this guy is. I'm like, what nonsense is this? Why they're focusing so much on suddenly just 2 minute scene in the end of the film. Same thing will happen with if Grant Gustin shows up like that in the Flash movie. General audience will have no
I'm telling you, it has to be a post-credit scene. Like, if you want him there, it has to be a post-credit scene. Like, even if you show a slight glimmer through the movie, people would be like, "Who is that? Wait, what is that?" Like, hey, they didn't explain this. So
even Flash showing up in BVS, that was nonsense.
It was, I know, right?
It made no sense.
Hardcore DC fans were like, "Hey, I think it says the Flash, I think." Like,
the costume was actually non-distinguishable.
Yeah.
There was a helmet also, and there were wings. And
the only reason is that we knew the actor playing the Flash.
Yeah.
Same thing with this Loki ending. We knew it's Kang because we know the actor is casted for that. So.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think again, I was saying for Loki also that my parents hated the episode. They're like, "What nonsense was this?"
That's right. I get that.
Yeah.
Unless Grant has like a supporting role, in it's not like it's a proper role where they like actually give context to who he is and everything. but I don't see that happening. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. But other than that, it
See,
has to be a post-credit
that's asking for trouble. You already have so big, so many big characters, Supergirl and 2 Batman, and
that's what I'm saying.
Like, just to justify a small cameo in a TV show no one watches.
True.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you, it has to be a post-credit scene. It would be a fun post-credit scene also if they bring in for that.
Let's check the chat. Season 3 is coming. You think Titan season 3 will be better than season 2? I think anything is better than season 2.
Even season 1 was kind of better than season 2, right? Although both of them were not that good.
I don't care. So yeah, role of Ben Affleck Batman Flash movie. Had heard that is the last time. I hope, man, not. It's like you have Ben Affleck. Just give him money and say, make us a HBO Max show. Do whatever you want.
It would be great.
Just do it. Like, why would you know? He's a Oscar-winning director.
I know.
Why wouldn't you let him go like this? Let him give him all creative freedom, give him HBO Max series, and you'll get your numbers.
They have done this for like James Gunn. They have already booked him for the next Suicide Squad movie, the Peacemaker TV show.
And that was his own idea. It's like, can I make a Peacemaker show? And like, okay, in 2 months he made it. Also, it's in editing now.
It's a lot of mismanagement of. I think it's both. Even WB mismanaged him, and Ben Affleck also. I think he got a little terrified after BVS's response. I think he was like, "Oh wait, hang on, this is not like how I envisioned it."
That's not.
I think, and he also had a lot of personal troubles during that time. So I can understand why he backed out.
Dude, he was like he was promoting some other film, and then like Batman. He was frustrated.
Personally, like I think he got into a little bit too much of alcohol.
Rehab, he got it.
He had to go to rehab, so he had so many issues then. So I understand personally on a personal level why he didn't do that. But like right now,
did you go to rehab yourself?
No.
Okay. On a personal level.
No, on a personal level, why he didn't do it?
It was just a joke.
Dude, like Joe Manganiello, whatever. Sorry. His Deathstroke. Like, come on, I would love to watch that.
See, right now, I would love for WB to just or AT&T just to approach them and just to approach Ben Affleck.
Discovery.
Like whatever, like because they just there's a lot of love for Ben Affleck, like in Twitter, everything, and I think he enjoyed whatever.
Apart from love, also like as Nona said, like Joe Manganiello, his Deathstroke, and him getting a 6-parter series on a HBO Max would
a limited one.
The limited would be great. Like it would be awesome to see them fighting together.
Yeah,
Batman actually needs a villain that is on his level, not below, not above, not something like Darkseid, and then he comes out at his best. Usually
and he already did
the best
Bane.
Version of that.
In Darkseid, he already did Bane. So Deathstroke is that one villain, and
there was. What was that? Like a gameplay or something? There was a gameplay with Deathstroke and Batman. Arkham Origins. So I saw that fight and I envisioned like how Batffleck and
and fight on the dogs. That fight was nowhere near like in the game, it was nowhere near as good as that.
No, it's not the gameplay. No, it was just a trailer.
Cinematic trailer,
Yeah, but you would expect it was still a decent fight, but still, like it was nowhere near that level.
Saurabh says Affleck all the way. I agree, Saurabh.
That's what I'm saying. Like just do a limited episode, 6-episode run. Give him the money. Just do this one thing, man. It would boost HBO Max subscribers.
I'll get one. I'll get one. All right. Okay. Hi for the Batman movie. Yes. Alok, hi. Welcome. Scott Snyder butchered the Batman character in BVS. Snyder butchered it. Okay.
In terms of his ideology and stuff, I get.
Yeah.
But go on.
Rajat says they'll not give him anything after that, so goodbye to Batfleck. I'll miss him. Yes, man. I'm very sad already. Just talking about it. I'll miss Affleck a lot too. Best Batman. Yes, I agree. I'd always wanted to see 2016 a fight between Arrow, Deathstroke, and Affleck Batman. Can you imagine how? And directed by that Game of Thrones director. What's his name?
David Nutter?
Yeah. No. Who directed Game of Thrones? The fight scenes. The fight scenes.
I don't remember.
I the guy who directed the last episode, Arrow.
James Bamford.
Yeah, James Bamford. Yes. Affleck all the way. Yes, Saurabh. And I think the right time to move on to the next one, which is again from DC. Micheal B. Jordan, like doing a Superman movie. which is
I
called
heard it's
Val Zod something.
That's an actual alternate.
So this is separate from a Black Superman movie they are doing with some other writer. Okay?
What are they even
Just
doing?
to clarify.
What? I thought this was the Black Superman.
No.
No, it's
They
not.
hired this writer, a black writer. He's like very well known, and they hired him to write a Black Superman movie. And then this report recently came out, and Micheal B. Jordan was lobbying for a Black Superman movie for a long time. But he's now developing is a Val Zod, who is actually a Black Superman in
Earth
the
2.
comics.
He's the president of the Earth 2. He's President Superman. Is his
Yeah, something like that.
Which is an interesting story. Which is an interesting take for Superman. I would love to see that. But then why is there another project also in development?
If you just want to be in the run for like black audience, and you want that culture in your movies or that, there are a lot of different characters who are already potentially, they're not potentially black, they are like black from the origins. Like you can do something
Black
about
Beetle.
like Black Lightning, there is a character.
Black Beetle, who's that?
Blue Beetle, sorry, Blue Beetle. Blue
He's the
Beetle.
Mexican
They are
character.
developing a Blue Beetle.
Oh, Blue Beetle is Mexican. Okay.
So he's
Latino, right?
Hispanic. He's not black.
Yeah.
So Black
Oh.
They
Lightning
do
is
a
black.
John Stewart Green Lantern.
Yeah,
That's like
that
an
would be-
epic
Arey,
character.
don't get me started on Jon Stewart, man.
See, I am all for like whatever different versions of Superman they want to do,
Yeah.
whatever new characters you want to do. But what I am worried is why is there like it's like if Kevin Feige came out and said, "See, we have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man." There's this other actor. We have Tom Cruise also doing Iron Man. Okay, he's also lobbying for Iron Man. We have these two projects coming out in the next 2 years. It feels like that. Like, why is there so much like?
it's
separation?
like very narrow kind of a vision where you only see Batman and Superman, and apart from that, you think all the
Thomas,
characters
can
are
you Google
useless.
it? Someone saying Blue Beetle is not Mexican. Static Shock.
He's Latino, right? He's Latino, I think.
I said Hispanic, right?
Is not Latino Mexican only? A Latino Spanish? Dude, I have no idea. This is Indian Geek Society, guys. We know no one except Indian people.
He's from Mexico, I think. The Blue Beetle character. He's Hispanic. They had
In
a
Young Justice, he was speaking in Spanish, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
If it was dubbed in Hindi, it would be Haryanvi. So that's I know. That I know. If it's dubbed in Hindi, it's
that happened in
Haryanvi.
Age of Ultron, right?
Yeah.
With the
Scovian was
Scovian
into
twins.
Haryanvi, yeah.
I don't know
Dude,
what
you should have listened to their dialogues too.
Dude, you should have listened to Godspeed talking in Punjabi.
Oh my god.
What did you
I
say?
thought the language settings got changed in what we were watching. Like,
This was the first
बच्चों
movie that I watched in,
ਤੁਹਾਡਾ pro ਇੱਥੇ ਬੁਲਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ something like that
you
it's
know, the first movie that I watched in Punjabi, the Hollywood movie that I watched in Punjabi was Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1. It aired in Punjabi before in Hindi in India.
oh
And
man.
that movie was hilarious on another level. Like I could even watch it now and I would die laughing. That movie is too great.
मैं air time चुनिया सी flash dude that I was oh my god while editing I was laughing out loud
see, when he spoke to his own clones, it kind
Yeah,
of made sense.
yeah.
But when he spoke to Flash, I'm like, he doesn't know it. What's the point?
oh maybe when they were talking like this they were talking actually Punjabi but no one understands on the set so they're
I
like
thought you were
oh
joking.
I'm not joking.
Joking.
I'm not joking.
In the actual version of the Flash
in the
episode,
finale Godspeed there are 2 dialogues of Godspeed in Punjabi
Yeah.
मेरे बच्चों ਇੱਥੇ
he's an
आओ
actor Punjabi.
No, yeah, he's an Indian origin. Yeah, Karan Oberoi. So they're like, oh,
So
you're
in
Punjabi,
Punjabi.
right? Let's say the dialogue in Punjabi. And he then muzzled up Punjabi, not even right, with the accent and all that.
He's like, this is our speech to speak when we are,
It's like we are already ending on a bad note. Why don't we put some shit in this?
I think what they were like, we are in Canada anyways. Second home.
Nice one.
That was actually great.
Okay, let's go to the chat. Thomas
I
is
would have
like,
then
why?
loved Godspeed saying Canada instead of Canada.
No, they are in Central City, na, so. Dude, that dialogue, man. मैं air time चुनिया सी flash.
I'm hearing this for the first time from you guys. I stopped watching Flash after
Watch
season
our,
one, right?
just watch our reaction.
Just
Watch our reaction. And there's a timestamps also in the comments. You can directly jump to it.
And that was one of the worst part of the episode also.
That was the relatable part.
Nona was like something after so many seasons they dedicate some
Flash reactions is just me and Nona laughing all the time. Like literally that's
Laughing and saying Joe.
Before this episode, I have seen Nona's reaction, and all I have seen is him being disappointed in the reactions. Like every episode, one after the other, he comes with some hope, some glimmer in his eyes, and then he's disappointed at the end.
It has gotten to a point where something 1 minute good happens. We're like, oh, nice episode.
Literally, that's the state of the show. Okay, comments. Oh crap! They are not gonna give anything to Henry Cavill. Love his Superman. Yes, man. Maybe he may show up in the Flash movie. Who knows? Blue Beetle.
Like
okay, Static Show.
Like in terms of
not after. Yeah, with the the body build, I think he is one of the best.
Like in terms of that all.
I just wanted to know the other Black Superman movie that you guys were talking about. Do you know anything, the plot wise, anything? Do you know, guys?
No, it is only the writer that they've hired. This writer to write the Black Superman story.
And with DC that happens a lot. They always have writers.
It is supposed to be an Elseworld story, like Joker movie.
Yeah.
Elseworld DC story, not connected to the universe.
But even the Michael Jordan one is not connected.
At this point, they should disconnect all the movies from each other and call it Elseworld.
All right. Would love to see Henry Cavill Superman versus Black Adam. DJ and Zack Shazam go up against each other in 3
that would have been great.
I think
I don't see happening that.
I can see Henry Cavill coming back if The Rock is really insisting on it.
I think there was a picture, right, where him sitting with The Rock and they're having discussion and all.
If The Rock wants it, it might happen. Like he's like, let's bring back Henry Cavill.
Rock has enough money to buy DC from WB.
Yeah, he might push it. He might actually push them. Yeah. So that's my hope now.
He's actually out of the Fast and the Furious franchise, right?
He's out of the family.
They might do spin-offs for him.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh man, I saw Hobbs and Shaw recently. Like, oh my god, this is unbearable, dude. At least Fast and Furious movies are it's
like
enjoyable.
A masterpiece on its own.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw is a masterpiece of a movie.
I was a little drunk when I watched it, and I had a lot of fun with Hobbs and Shaw.
What do you mean you are drunk? Sorry, this is family channel. You are drunk on water.
Drunk with milk. So.
Okay. Remember Wanda and Pietro's Haryanvi accent? Yes, Jesus Christ.
Yes. I can't even, unhear it. I wish I could unhear that.
Oh, dude. Just saw the Godspeed
was
scene.
One dialogue.
Okay.
You remember the scene where Ultron show the photo to the Pietro twins? And you have a photo? There is a dialogue between when they go to the church for the first time and they meet Ultron.
Yeah.
And when he's wearing a scarf or something, Ultron. Is that?
Yeah.
So, I don't know why.
There's a dialogue, right? There's a dialogue, right? I have my own photo, sitting in the rubble behind, waiting to die. So it's a very emotional kind of a dialogue. Like he was waiting to die, looking at the Stark missile in front of him. And in Haryanvi, what they did is like, "Mare paas ek apni photo hai." The dialogue that starts like this, and I immediately started laughing at that. Right?
Oh man, I remember watching it with father. Like, oh my god.
Even if you wanted to do a different accent to distinguish Americans and Sokovians, you could have gone with a better thing, right? Haryanvi is like, and I can't even say anything.
Don't even have a different
I'm afraid
accent,
for my life. I'm afraid for my life even if I see him.
Accent. Like just dub it accordingly. Just dub it normally.
And then there are scenes when they change the dialogues completely. Do you remember the Fast and Furious 7 movie?
Yeah.
And when the big bus is shooting at the car and the car is bulletproof, so the main hero says that when he's getting bullets and he says, "It's bulletproof, bitch." And in Hindi version, it's like he's getting shot at and he's like, "Akhiyon se goli mare re." And I'm like, the audacity to convert a dialogue from its bulletproof to a song that from the mid-90s. It's like you have to have some audacity.
Dude, the way they dub the black characters because they are so eccentric and so fast. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Coming to the chat. Okay, Thomas just saw that scene, Godspeed scene. Remember Mike Oxmall? Who's that? Mike Oxmall, anyone? Okay, no idea, Thomas. Why he quit Fast and Furious franchise? Tell me, I don't know. Rajat says. Tell him, man.
So there's a feud between Vin Diesel and The Rock, and Vin Diesel is like.
I thought Mike Oxmall quit the Fast and
So it's like Vin Diesel wanted him out of the family. So that's the whole thing.
I think there was a lot of professional, like Rock felt Vin Diesel wasn't professional on set, and there were a lot of clashes between that. So
Yeah.
after a point of time, and that's why if you look at Fast and Furious 8, I think it's 8 or 7, I don't remember. Like the scenes between Vin Diesel and Rock are really less, and it looks like they're not together in the scene. Like they just shot it separately. So and
they actually shot all the scenes separately.
Yeah.
There was body doubles for when Vin Diesel was there or The Rock was there. You can't actually find a body double for Rock, so they had to do it for Vin Diesel.
And these, especially when you have Rock, with all of these characters involved, in these fight scenes and everything, they actually have specified in the contract how many punches you can give.
Yeah.
And if they get the punch, they should not go down. They should roll and come back.
Who has the upper hand and all that kind of a thing.
Everything. So it's a whole lot. It's best not to get into it, but but I still like a lot.
So there were creative differences which led to like a feud between the two, and that's why like the studio decided not to go with The Rock because the Vin Diesel have been with them for like 10-15 years now. So
I don't think it's I think The Rock itself just moved, just said I just want to do my own spin-off. And
no. The studio said that they will not be including Dwayne Johnson in the Fast Furious 10 and 11 movies.
Yeah, but I think he itself.
So they are supposed to be the last two movies, right?
Might have been.
Because I think if The Rock says that, the studio's like, yeah, we agree with them. Yeah.
All right. Roman was completely ruined. Roman or Roma?
Roman Reigns in the. Not Reigns, the Roman character in the Fast and Furious movie.
Okay. Was completely ruined in Hindi dub. Only the first few movies, Hindi dub was food good. Cause they mixed English and okay.
It's coming back to Nona's point. Like all the black characters are, there are a lot of stereotypes to them when it comes to Hindi dubbing.
Yeah.
So it's very evident. Like they don't care about that at all.
They give them this right Mumbai like Mawali Tapori accent. Yeah. Black dudes in a car in space in Fast and Furious 9 scene. I guess you don't need physics when you got family. Saurabh.
I need to watch that. Just that scene though. Like,
Vin Diesel is family.
You don't turn your back on family.
Still he turned his back on The Rock. So.
For you, what was the final film to the Fast and Furious franchise? For me, it was 7.
First
After
one.
that, I considered
First
every one of them alternate universe.
You don't need to do anything.
No, I totally agree. For me, 7, especially with Paul Walker's end and unfortunate demise, and the way they ended that movie took me by surprise.
No one can beat me. I started watching Fast and Furious and I got to know about the franchise after Paul Walker died.
Oh my god!
So that's what happened with me.
I was a fan throughout, like when the movie.
Yeah.
Like I think ever since 4, maybe I don't remember the first few, but I watched it in HBO when it came on TV and everything. And so when the 7th movie came out and what they did with the whole Paul Walker thing, like I thought they handled that pretty well, even though it's like. In terms of the story, it seems a little bit out of context, like, a little bit too emotional, but still I like the way how they did that. It felt like a good end to the franchise.
The ending scene was actually like a tombstone in the franchise, like when both the cars were going in different directions. So that was actually a good ending to end the franchise.
Yeah. And they robbed everything. They robbed, they got all the money, then they worked with the police. They're not even wanted by the police anymore.
Yeah.
And the whole franchise started with Paul and Vin Diesel, or both of them started the franchise. So it made sense that, the last scene is that, But then after that, they kept coming back, and then Vin Diesel now keeps saying that, he feels Paul Walker's presence, and Paul Walker wants us to do 10 or 11.
I think these are the last two. I think that's what he was saying.
The best movie was for me, the best movie was the Tokyo Drift movie. Like it was actually, not contained in the universe, but it was actually a good movie.
That was
apart from the protagonist
universe before Marvel with Tokyo.
We're really off topic, but okay. If 10 and 11 can top this ending, then maybe I could consider them canon. Okay.
No, I don't. It's all alternate universe.
Okay,
No, I
Rajat,
don't think how are they going to bring, like they've already brought magnet jets and all that.
Arey.
Like they're going into space.
Do you think Paul Walker, like, they would do some CGI and maybe bring a cameo in the end, last movie?
I don't
They
know.
might. They
It,
might
it would
actually.
it would
I
not
think
be really a
I
good
think
thing,
what
probably.
they might do is, because it's the end, they might maybe like, maybe there's a chase sequence and they might just show his car just coming in and helping, something like his trademark car from the first movie or
You know,
something like that.
they've already like signified like he is present in the franchise,
He's
like
alive, yeah.
he's retired or something or like that.
Yeah.
So they might bring him for one like cameo, not
Last
him,
I
but basically
I feel
CGI
it would be a disservice,
But I
honestly.
think the director's spoken about that. Like, he has thought a lot about, whether they might bring
I
him.
think for me, the way the film ended, I think that's done for Paul Walker's character.
Yeah, that was
And bringing
beautifully
back
done.
now at no point, and it would be a disservice to him.
Mm.
That's my thought.
I
Okay.
would be okay if they just, showed his car or something, just like teaming up, and then they just look and maybe like just sort of acknowledging Paul or something like that. I don't know how that would work though.
Rajat says, okay, then how will they end the Fast and Furious franchise with Luke Hobbs? His story is not complete. Dude, don't.
Read the chat. Read the chat.
Okay, Manoj Pachpa is joining to save a bigger family. You know why reverse cowgirl is illegal in Alabama? Because you never turn your back. What?
don't get into it. Don't get into it. Move to the next one.
Saurabh says they have been to freaking International Space Station. The only way to go, that's a betting aliens. Yeah, man, that's the next thing, aliens.
Or time
Brian
travel.
Paul is confirmed to have a role in 10
Read
11.
the ending of that comment, like he's saying betting an alien and then starting a new family. That will end the franchise.
International family.
Oh, dude! He will
Intel
go.
Planet.
He will. Alien is a family, and that's how Groot comes. So Marvel and it's all
It's
connected.
correct. Oh my god. Oh shit. You heard it here, guys. IGS exclusive. Brian, which is Paul, confirmed to have a role in 10-11. Honestly, he needs to be there in the final film to end the franchise. Even with CGI, I think it would be more disrespectful if they didn't. I don't think that. Have the guy who started it all along with Dom. That's why you said, right? It should have ended on 7. It should have ended
That's very
there.
subjective of anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's very subjective.
Yeah.
But they want to make that money.
But coming back to the main topic, Michael B. Jordan's Superman.
Oh wow, we're still there. See, I am like, honestly, I am excited for, like, I really like Michael B. Jordan as an actor, and I am interested to see what he pulls, like what he sort of has in mind and what he wants to make. I don't know if he's going to be. I think he's directing the next Creed movie also. I think.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see this take, but like, I hope it's just his movie, or it's just that one. Like, I don't want to see similar iterations of the character again and again. I want them to explore this DC universe more. Like, whatever it is, how much ever you might fall James Gunn's Suicide Squad, whatever. Like, I like the fact that he just explored. He just went crazy. He took all these weird characters and put it in the movie. So I want DC to just explore. They have so many good characters. Like. So many good characters of different ethnicities that you can explore, you can bring to the big screen, and in the end, it's not even about ethnicities. These are all great characters with great stories that you can bring on screen, explore more, do something more. But coming back to this, I'm excited to see Michael B. Jordan's version of Superman, especially with Wall Zod, because it gives a different dimension against Superman. I think something which, when I was watching Superman and Lois, what I sort of realized was that the moment they made him into a family man, the moment they gave him a family, the moment they made him a father, it gave different stories, it gave him different adventures to explore, which I never thought of before. So now, similarly with Wall Zod, you have different potentials you can do. You can make him a president and stuff like that. So it'll be very interesting to see how they deal with that. So that's sort of my expectation on the whole Michael B. Jordan Superman.
Yeah. Harneet, any thoughts?
Yeah, see, my take on this is very different from Manoj's. Like, I wish this is in a different universe. I don't want.
Oh.
What?
No, nothing.
No,
I was asking about the cup.
before Anil says that, I do hope it's a different universe. Okay?
Yeah.
I hope it's not in the main continuity. Same.
Yeah. So the main continuity, we are not going to talk about it. Like, we can do it for like 3 hours, but we are not gonna.
We already
Talking
did.
So talking about like Elseworld stories like the Joker they did, and if they are doing two similar kind of Superman movies in the Elseworld also, that's also very confusing, right? Even if they are two years apart, there will be confusion like, are the sequel, is this a spin-off, or what kind of Superman
You know,
is
my
this?
point to your confusion part is that who cares? No one cares at this point.
See, someone has to care at this point.
You know,
and that's the point.
Marvel cares about confusion.
Yeah. See, before Black Panther, everything, whenever there was a black centric movie, it was about how marginalized they were and how they overcame the marginalized society and the racism, and they went to great heights. The basic premise of a black centered movie, right? And then Black Panther came, which is a whole different dimension of a black cultural phenomena. And then now we are going towards two different kind of Superman. Like Val Zod is like, how can you portray Superman as marginalized? He's Superman. And if you are going to do that, how are you going to do it in two separate different ways? Like are going to be some clashes, there are going to be some similarities, because at the end of the day, they are both Superman, they are both black, and they'll have at least similar kind of struggles in their lives. So I'm pretty not excited, but I'm pretty like eager to see basically what they are trying to do with both the version of them.
I'm fairly certain only one of these movies are going to come out. Or both might not come. But I am fairly certain both are not going to come out, man. Because this is WB, this is DC. We have seen this a lot. Like, they have announced projects, they have writers attached, they have directors attached. We had a Deathstroke movie coming out. We had movies like, we had a Cyborg movie coming up, we had Green Lantern Corps. Like, so many movies that went nowhere. Even The Flash went through so many different filmmakers before, it has reached to this stage.
Remember that Comic-Con panel where they released like 7 movies?
Yeah.
And none of them came through?
How many of them came out?
None.
With Marvel, you just have like a few, like one or two movies here and there that they're like, it changed plans a little bit like that. But
see, Captain America 3 was supposed to be Secret Serpent, which they changed to Civil War.
Yeah. And the Inhumans was supposed to be a movie, then TV show, and whole. That's the only like bad sort of spot which Marvel has. I think is.
I'm very happy Inhumans was not a MCU movie, a canon MCU movie, and it went to the dumpster being a show. Because if that would have been a movie and with that kind of quality, it would have bombed MCU. It would have bombed the MCU.
Yeah. We'll end this topic with Thomas says, I think a black Superman would be really good if only they didn't just focus on the fact that he's black and actually make a good movie with a good story and don't depend on the fact that he's black too much.
See, Val Zod is all about that. It's not about a black Superman. It's about a Superman who is black. So it's not about his blackness. It's about Superman.
I think
only.
it will be on the same lines of Falcon the Winter Soldier. Right?
Maybe.
Might be, yeah. See, as I said, no, both the movies will be then similar. You can't do a lot of things.
Only one is coming out. Based on a track record, minimum only one will come.
All right.
I'm pretty sure, or both won't come.
And Kevin, it's like Val Zod will be more powerful than Kal-El himself. I don't think we have to get into that debate, and with that we'll end this.
Right, so that's the problem.
We'll end this one here, and now let's talk about anything else you want to talk about. We'll wrap it up soon now. Venom 2 trailer came out. Thoughts on that?
I still haven't watched it.
That's a fact.
It's crazy, dude. The trailer is like crazy, but the introduction of like Carnage, how it gets into Cletus Cassidy's system, that is like a cheap shot to me.
No, but
like
that's from the comics only, right?
It's not very comic centric. Like, but in the comics, they are both in the cell, and then one drop of blood falls out. It's not like he just bites his hand and it's like, okay,
we'll wait for the trailer. They can only show so much, right? So let's wait for the movie. Maybe there's more to it.
Apart from that, everything else I like about the trailer, like the design of the Carnage character, I like it better than the Venom character. It has to be better, in the comics it is.
Thoughts on Carnage design, Thomas asks.
See, that's what I said, right? The Carnage design is like much better than the Venom character in the movie. So that's what is in the movies, like all the spikes coming out of him, and then he standing on in front of that mirror, that giving of the god complex from that
I think
shot.
that's called a gospel, if I'm not wrong.
Gospel. No, gospel is not. The stained glass in the church.
Yeah. I think he
Gospel
would
is
know.
glass.
I've read this, yeah. Come on. You know that
I've not
with
seen the
colorful
trailer, so I don't know what you guys are
that
discussing.
colorful
In the church,
painting
there
they
are
do on the glass,
glass, right?
right?
But that's not called the
It's-
gospel.
It's
though.
not.
I don't think it's gospel. I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but I remember
And
it was,
you remember,
yeah.
Nona will remember the scene because you haven't watched the trailer.
Have you seen the first trailer at least?
Yeah, but
It's there in that also.
I'm not being very honest. I'm not at all a Venom fan. I am a Spider-Man fan. I'm not a Venom fan. So I don't really like the first movie. Also, I just watched it.
No, I became a Venom fan recently after watching the recent run of Venom in the comics.
But see, with me, like even Nona knows this. Even with the MCU, right? A lot of the stuff I'm experiencing it for the first time, the stories and everything. So that's why I go with a very fresh mindset with MCU. But with DC, I know the stuff. And
In the Marvel comics, Venom became the strongest ever character for a few moments, just to defeat the main villain of the comic. So that happened. Coming back to this trailer, like there was a shot when police is shooting at Carnages, and there's a hole in between. You can't see the body of the person who is inside. So that's a direct shot from the comics. Like even if there is a human inside the symbiote, the bullet will pass through the symbiote without hurting the character. So they are bringing the design straight from the comics. It's very nice. It's very edgy, as I said. The movie is going to be better than at least the first Venom movie.
I will say this: like I am excited for the fact that Andy Serkis is directing this.
Yeah.
So I think especially considering how much he has acted in mocap and everything, and how much his knowledge is there. So I am
VFX
very
looks
excited.
good actually.
Yeah. So like the first Venom movie, I thought was fine. It was entertaining, kind of like I didn't really attach too much emotions or any Like it was great to see Tom Hardy like portray the role. That's just about it.
There is still not going to be that emotional attachment with Tom Hardy's Venom. Even in this movie.
But I wonder, for me, what I'm more excited about is the fact that we're going to see Michael Keaton's Vulture cameoing, I think, in this. So I wonder if Tom Holland is going to face.
No. That's
Vulture is not in
Mobius.
this.
That's Mobius.
He's in the Mobius movie.
Okay, but correct me if I'm wrong. So is Venom and Mobius in the same universe?
Kind of. They said that
No
kind
idea. So basically, the theory is that with the multiverse open, Spider-Man will be a part of the Sony universe.
Okay.
Also,
then I'll be interested to see like if it happens, like Tom Holland Spider-Man, or even or any of the Spider-Mans that we've got.
See, for me, Venom doesn't work without Spider-Man. It's like having Joker without Batman.
Same, yeah.
It makes no sense.
First character for a symbiote, the Venom symbiote, to bond with should be Spider-Man. After that he should go to Eddie Brock and all that.
Yeah.
So the direction, the foundation was not actually very good.
No,
but it was not because of
movie,
they didn't want to do it. If they had the character, if they had the Spider-Man character, they would have done that. Introduced the Venom in that movie and then went on to Eddie Brock and that. But we have to.
I think the contract what Sony has, right? Like if they don't make a Spider-Man related movie, they lose the rights. Like in recent some years.
Having said that, Venom is a very popular entity. Like whatever you say, like in pop
Dude,
culture, it's very
the film did $1 billion
so.
in China because of China.
Yeah.
So
and no, even before that, like even in Spider-Man 3, they forced Venom into the movie. Like Sam Raimi didn't want Venom because he felt like he didn't really connect with that character. But Sony was like, we'll have to, because many fans were theorizing, they'll bring Venom for the third one and all. So they were like, they forced Sam Raimi to put Venom into the movie. So Venom has been like a popular character.
The Venom also like that from space and all of that. It really brings a lot of leverage to the story, which I think didn't work.
What I was talking about, the comic run that they did recently was the King in the Black. So there is a symbiote god and all that. The whole Earth becomes infected by symbiote and all that. So that was the kind of story that Venom does better in the comics that they can't do in the movies. That the scale of that kind of story, it cannot be executed in the movies. So they have to do what they can do with the character. And you will see that this Venom symbiote can't generate weapons and all that. He's a lower class of symbiotes in the hierarchy. So that's why he is very powerless against bigger symbiotes like the first one, the Riot symbiote, and in this, the Carnage symbiote. So you will see the trailer and you will then realize the kind of difference between the design.
Yeah,
of
I
the
think
poster.
someone mentioned it also that where is that? Carnage is linked with blood of him, unlike Venom acting like a shield. Ajay said. Cassidy's bond with Carnage is stronger and more complex. Thomas says, for me, Tom Hardy was kind of confusing as Eddie. Like, I really liked him, but like, I seriously don't know should I like him or should I not. I think I don't. First of all, don't understand his dialogues. I need subtitles, and the trailer didn't have subtitles. So that was really confusing for me.
Like the whole concept of like a host coming into a guy's brain. Like, I feel like there was this movie called Upgrade, which I thought it was not
That
bad.
indie movie on Netflix.
I don't know if it's there on Netflix, but it's a movie about like a chip coming into a guy's brain, coming into a guy's mind.
It's an
and,
indie
like,
movie, right?
controlling him.
I think I've heard about it.
Hindi movie?
Indie.
Yeah,
Indie
yeah,
movie.
it's an indie movie. I think Invincible Man's director made that first, I think. And for me, like that movie is like I really like the way how they did that. They took that Venom concept and made that. But for like many people are calling it the better Venom movie, that's not Venom. Upgrade. So
I think my favorite part was the banter between both of them, and we see a lot of that in the trailer also. So I'm excited for that.
True.
Who else is here for me? Okay, you guys feel weird hearing Venom be a relationship therapist for Eddie and his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend who's now getting married.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's
Don't care. That's the answer. Sony will be part of Marvel Universe. That's a deal between Sony and Disney. Yes. The Suicide Squad is the second.
Up, so it's
Yeah,
easier,
so
I guess.
yes, the Suicide Squad is the second best DCU movie after BVS Ultimate Edition.
Oh, that's
Wow.
an interesting like ranking.
Okay, I'm confused. So you consider BVS a better movie? Just kidding, just kidding.
Ultimate Edition. Yeah.
Venom says we are not Venom, but Carnage says I am
I just
Carnage.
said,
Okay.
it's an interesting mix because on one hand, the Suicide Squad feels like a very colorful, vibrant movie, and BBS it seems like a bit of a difference. So the fact that you are able to appreciate both is great, I think.
Yeah. But guys, we will be watching the film soon, and Harneet has already seen it, and we'll be talking about it next week on Saturday. This Tuesday we are doing a stream on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So
Which
do subscribe and the bell icon.
want to be a part of.
No, I will be part of. I have an interesting idea about it. So let's see. I'll not share it right
I
now.
don't know if I can be a part of it.
Are you doing a quiz for that? Just because.
Nah, that you guys decide. Like you
No,
guys
I
are
don't
doing
want
it. So
Like I like the show. I can
But
do
not
it,
quiz
it's
level.
like no, I can do a quiz also, but it's like a kind of cringe right now to do a quiz because everyone is doing it. So
Yeah.
maybe sometime later.
But we started it though, I think.
Venom से okay. हाँ DCU की बात हो रही है तो come back. अरे तन्मय is here. तन्मय Gupta is in the chat, guys. DCU and him, like, it's no way. But guys, yes, Suicide Squad is coming. A lot of new videos. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon for that. Like, share, subscribe, everything. Nona, my Suicide Squad movie leak was accurate. Really? I'll check. I'll check.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, I think today was really fun. I had a really good time, just talking, relaxed, talking with everyone in the chat was really fun. So thank you everyone, first of all, for being a part of this, and it was really fun today. Really was relaxing and enjoyable. Otherwise I'm always anxious about everything is fine or not. But today was really fun, so thank you everyone. And I think
he didn't care. He's saying it like he didn't care if anything goes wrong. I don't even care.
no wrong. As in I was always curious. I don't miss a comment or something like that. Today I was really chilling and just take the flowing with the discussion. And also I think Lucifer said that Nona is a nice guy, so thank you, Lucifer.
He said nice things about us also, but Nona didn't read it.
Yeah, I deleted those comments. The new Suicide Squad looks epic. AF. Farhan. Bye. Good night, Ajay. Bye. And yes, guys, anything else, let us know in the chat. What any Stranger Things 4 is coming out. Money Heist. I have not seen it. Then
Trailers
Sex
are-
Education is coming out next month. Did you guys see that trailer of The Empire? The new Hotstar show is coming out, like Game of Thrones kind of a thing. It feels like that, so it looks interesting. Did a video on my personal channel, guys. Check it out. And now I feel like, oh shit, it looks bad. Not BVS theatrical cut, but BVS ultimate. Yeah, I got it. I understood your point. Deep and meaningful comic book movie only way would see. I think BVS is also my favorite. Suicide Squad was great, enjoyed a lot. Great, man. We'll also enjoy it soon. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Anything else? Am I missing something? Any big announcement? Any Marvel front? I think What If is coming.
Right? Like,
What If is
yeah,
coming.
like-
Yeah, What
We
If is
did a
coming
video for
and
that. Do check that out.
yeah, guys. And what else did we do? Marvel, I think some news came out. Hawkeye is coming in November. So and Spider-Man may shift. People are saying today's 10th, right? No, people are saying 10th Spider-Man trailer comes out. So let's see.
No. There was a meme about it, like Spider-Man No Way Home, more like Spider-Man No Way. We are going to show you that trailer.
I think someone put out this fake thing that Kevin Feige said that we are not going to release a trailer. We want to surprise you. We don't need. We don't think we need to put out a trailer now. The hype is so real.
Technically, they don't need it.
But they have to. They have to.
Even Endgame needed a trailer, right? Like they had to put something out.
Okay, I have to watch this stream again late in parties. You guys talked about it.
Expectations with that movie are on another level. So even if the movie is good, I think it's gonna disappoint a lot of people.
Dude,
So
that's like the
Would you
movie got
guys be
destroyed, man.
disappointed?
The movie's destroyed.
Would you guys be disappointed if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire don't make an appearance in Spider-Man?
No, I already know it's like 80% chance they are not in the movie.
I don't care about. See, I just want a good Spider-Man story. That's it.
Same, man. Same.
Yeah.
I think I really want Daredevil in it. Like I really want.
There's a news that Daredevil season 4 is in works at Marvel Studios. So I don't know how will that work because the first 3 seasons are on Netflix. So I don't know how is that gonna work.
You
but
could connect it, right? It's not a big.
no,
it's
but
not
you know,
really-
it's about having the IP at the same place, right? I think that's the one thing. Or either
I
they
think
reboot it, either they reboot
the
it with Charlie
license-
Cox.
The license to the character has gone back to Disney.
Yeah,
if I
but
remember
not
correctly,
the. They don't have the rights to the
the-
first 3 seasons. So
but Disney might just buy it up. They'll be like, just hand it over. Or we'll
No,
sue
but-
you also.
but-
we have Scarlet Johansson with us.
but no, I was gonna say that it's too dark, right, for Disney. So that's the one thing.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
They are already bringing Blade and Doctor
yeah,
Strange.
Deadpool.
yeah, Deadpool,
Deadpool.
guys, Deadpool is back.
So, I think
Oh, a lot
they
of
might
chats
maybe
are
put it
here.
on Hulu then.
Huh?
Hulu is also owned by
No,
Disney.
they
right?
are. So Disney Plus is bringing Star also to their for America. So the Star Network will have everything, or R-rated stuff and Indian content. It will have on.
So,
it will be on
It
Star.
might be there then. Maybe.
Yeah. So let's see. All right. Okay, I have to watch. Okay, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, set photo. Yes, set photo was out. I want Tobey Maguire. I'll buy ticket at any cost. Was the Spider-Man No Way teaser leak legit? No, that's fake. This is getting way too much hype. No Way Home is going to up the ante, but not that much. But hey, you never know. Maybe even Venom will join the guys at the adventure. Henry Cavill cameo. We talked about it, Tanmay. You have to go back. But yeah, I think Spider-Man. It's like they're hyping. See, I really don't care. I never cared about Mephisto. I didn't know who was that. I also don't care about them. I would love for them to show up in the movie. But I don't really care. I just want a nice story. I know Doctor Strange is there. I know there'll be a lawyer. It'll be fun to him hiding his identity.
I want that continuation of that identity reveal. I want a nice resolution to that. Like, to be honest, that's more important to me than whatever else they're going to do.
See, my favorite Spider-Man movie is Far From Home. I think it checked off. I think the older ones, I don't really remember much of them. But for me, I think Far From Home was a great Spider-Man movie. It had all the elements and him trying to I think within also it being in MCU and how it there's that scene right on the bridge where he picks up 2 things and it becomes like a Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield, kind of a resemblance to Endgame. And also the way he cannot go with MJ and he has to choose his duty over that and the whole dilemma he has about it. And I love the whole like the messaging of the film. It's about fake news, and the trailer also gives like the film played the with the audience also as fake news because it's talking about multiverse. People are already theorizing about so much,
Yeah.
but when you see the movie, it's not about that, you know. So how, you know, news, if you just change it and make it, you know, like people will believe anything you give them. So that aspect, the meta aspect, I really liked. So I think all these things made it my favorite
It's
Spider-Man
not my
movie.
it's not really my favorite Spider-Man movie. I think mine would be Into the Spider-Verse, I guess.
Oh, that is
And-
then.
See,
See,
for
that
live
is-
action, I have Spider-Man 2, the same Raimi Spider-Man, and all-time Spider-Man favorite movie is the Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Oh, if you're only talking about live action, then for me it would be Homecoming. I like Homecoming a lot.
All right.
It's like it's a personal favorite, yeah. But I do agree with what you told about Far From Home. It's like it's very interesting they put all those aspects into the movie.
So the main thing about Far From Home was like it's coming from Endgame, right? So the first
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
after Endgame, so it has to bear all the, you know,
Which it did
I think the
pretty well, like,
emotions hit really well for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
Sam
like.
Raimi
think,
movie was it's still my favorite. Like second
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I know.
Doctor
Yeah.
I think
Octopus,
I think
that's-
most people
that's-
say that, right? Spider-Man 2 was the
Spider-Man.
favorite movie. Yeah.
You know,
I
think,
there is
like-
that inspiring Spider-Man kind of moments in that movie.
The train scene is the best, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Best Spider-Man scene ever.
You know,
Yeah.
now with Harneet saying all that, I think for me, Spider-Man 2, like, I
dude,
need to rewatch
hold your
it.
horses, dude.
No, I need to rewatch it. I'm not changing it. I need to.
Don't be
I
like an
actually
MLA
rewatched
man. Shifting
I-
parties.
why I am saying is this because I actually rewatched it a month back, and when we were talking about like callbacks and all that, when we go to watch, you know, previous movies, the older movies, there is a connect kind of, you know, nostalgia and a connect to
True.
it. So that's why that movie resonates with me very well at this point of time. When it came out, maybe I would have not gotten the message of the movie as well. You know, I was a kid back then, so at this point of time, if I watch all the same review movies,
You watched it in
and then the
theaters?
basic- no, I didn't.
I had no
How would I
idea about movies, so it just came on TV. I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the
that's-
Spider-Man 2 I watched on a DVD. The
I think
first movie
Spider-Man
watched
movie
on-
used to come on Cartoon Network or Pogo. Cartoon Network, I
everywhere.
guess.
It is.
No, like the way I saw it, I think it was on Cartoon Network.
See, I think for me, like especially now, when I rewatched Christopher Reeve's Superman, it made me realize so many things about the character, which I kind of
Yeah.
not forgot it, but like it brought back so many things to my mind about the character. So now I'm very interested when you talk about Spider-Man 2. Now I'm very interested to like revisit that character. With
The
how
first
Sam
time I
Raimi
watched
did.
it was in Hindi, right? So for me, the introduction to Spider-Man character was in Hindi. You know, we didn't
Yeah.
used to speak English back then, and all the movies actually came on DVDs, and they used to come in Hindi only. English movies was not even
The most iconic scene was when he jumps over the building for the first time, when he
Yeah.
climbs and all, and also that
Yeah.
cafeteria scene. So I think that's the most memorable one.
Which he did really right. That
Yeah.
So the
Piccolo
second movie,
and-
when I rewatched in English for the first time, was I think 2013 or something when I rewatched it, and when I realized like how good of a movie this is.
I'm not
That was the first
rewatched that
time.
movie.
Yeah.
And then
I think we
I
should do a
watched it,
session. We should do a session on Sam Raimi movies.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think we
we
can
should.
build it up towards when No Way Home comes out.
Or Doctor Strange comes out. Like he's directing Doctor Strange, right?
No, but No
Sam
Way Home
Raimi.
is Spider-Man movie, right? So
We'll do all the Spider-Man movies then.
let the trailer come out, man. Let the trailer
I didn't
come out
like
first.
personally the Amazing Spider-Man movies at all. Like,
No, didn't work for
there
me.
are a lot of.
I think that's my
actually
one of the
creative-
biggest issue with MCU is that how technologically it is with Spider-Man. I don't really like that. But I think they're like, Iron Man exists in this world, so it makes sense. But I think Andrew Garfield was so disconnected. I never felt he was Peter Parker.
Exactly.
It never
Like,
worked
the
for
main,
me.
I
main
really
thing about
like
Peter
Andrew
Parker,
Garfield.
they actually overshadowed the main thing about Peter Parker. Like that guy is very handsome and he gets the girl on the first go and all
Yeah.
that, right? That is not Peter Parker that we have seen in the animated show and in the
Yeah.
Sam Raimi movies, right? So that's something that disconnected me from Andrew Garfield as a character.
I think when he was in the mask, the fun he had was definitely.
Yeah,
I
as
think.
Spider-Man,
I think
it
with Tom
was-
Holland, that's a mixture of that heartwarming guy of Tobey Maguire
Yeah.
and the fun part of Andrew Garfield. But I think for me,
The
Andrew Garfield
web
was
swinging
like,
is the best in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
True.
The
I
web
enjoyed the first.
What
one,
is the
like,
best?
in spite of its first-
Web
the
swinging,
web
when he
web
swings.
swinging. Okay.
So
No,
that is
not
the best
the
of
web-
all the movies
yeah,
in the
true,
Amazing
true,
Spider-Man 2 movie.
true.
But the storyline and the connection from the first movie to the second movie and the
Yeah.
follow-up, that actually let me down.
Totally agree. Yeah. I think not just the web swing, the VFX in general was like amazing.
I think there's a scene where he just goes on top and comes back, and his costume is fluttering.
Yeah,
which is I think
yeah,
it's
that
a
scene.
That looks
it's
amazing.
like a scientifically very accurate. That's what will happen if
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
does that.
I did enjoy the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, like, but the second one, not at all, man. That there were some comedic bits that I enjoyed, but other than that, like, it was totally, I
The
totally didn't like it.
motivation even.
Okay,
If
Yeah.
we talk about motivation, it was like
okay, let's
it,
wrap it up
not
now.
not on point.
Let's wrap it up now. Lol, I like Spider-Man 3. I like the orgy, but I loved it. Tanmay, you think Peter Parker will go to prison at the end and go through Arrow season 7 type of prison arc? Maybe
Oh,
he
that
has
would be
some serum to
badass.
decrease his superpowerness. Can you imagine Tom's Peter just going? I don't know, man. Full violent Spidey in prison and trying to survive there. He could involve Vulture and I don't see that
There is a
happening.
comic run. There's a comic run where Spidey gets into the prison and beats the shit out of Kingpin because he attacked Aunt May.
Kingpin actor is coming. He'll be in Hawkeye. Like people are,
I know
it's a
that.
rumor that
Yeah, I
he'll be in
know.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. He's amazing, man. Yeah, yeah. Continue.
So there is a scene where Peter Parker is now he is identified as Spider-Man in the world, and Kingpin and all the other villains are attacking his loved ones. So Kingpin actually shoots Aunt May, and she's in the hospital. And this guy, Spider-Man, goes to the prison where Kingpin is, beats the shit out of him in front of all the prisoners, leaves him alive, and says, "You are my bitch" at the end. Like that's the level of epicness is that comic book had. And if he's in prison and he fights like Daredevil, all the people he's fighting in that corridor, shit, like that's something that is not gonna happen in MCU, but like
Yeah, it doesn't fit with
it's
what
pretty
they're doing
interesting to
somewhere.
see.
All right, guys. Tanmay says, "Yup, Sam and me session big fan here." Okay. We'll do that, guys, and thank you again for joining us. And I think that's it. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. Good night. Have fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye. Keep geeking out.
Bye.